Welcome into DC On Screen, the podcast that's been bringing you news and reviews for the DC Comics multiverse on film and television since, 2015.
A minute now.
Just a few years. I'm your host, David C. Robertson, and this, my good friend and loyal cohort, Jason Goss.
Hello.
Guys, before jumping in the news, I do want to apologize for the lengthy time between episodes recently. My mom has been experiencing some health issues. I've been busy helping out with her, and I think last week we said we were going to record, but it was like you and Evelyn were sick, right, with the stomach thing?
Yeah, no, it's we had like one shining moment where we could, and then it didn't happen.
Yeah, so I apologize. Please bear with us as we navigate the tumultuous nature of our work and home lives. And I really do. I hate going a while, at least this long without doing an episode.
Yeah, it hurts my soul.
Yeah, I mean, you and I used to do this without recording. We just did it for fun.
Yeah, we just catch up whenever the hell we could.
Yeah.
After family, did its bit.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put it that way.
We'll put it that way. But I'll let that stand. But we've got a fair amount of news here. I think it's some cool stuff. Some not so cool. In the cool category, Shazam Fury of the Gods tickets are now on sale. It releases March 17th. Please go get a ticket. I saw earlier this week someone had messaged David Sandberg, the director, and said, with Gunn's new slate, I just don't feel like I want to go see this movie because it doesn't matter. And he's like, if no one goes to see it, it really won't matter.
He's right. That's the definition of self-fulfilling prophecy.
If you want it to matter, go see the damn movie.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely accurate. Like, Gunn has already said that Shazam fits well.
Yeah, but it's its own little pocket.
Shazam fits well into the DC slate, his DCU slate. If it doesn't track well, if it doesn't do well at the box office, then they definitely won't do more. But it is tracking. This is in the bad category, the not so cool category. It is Shazam Fury of the Gods is tracking for a freaking really low opening weekend box office of 35 million.
I mean,
that would be one of the lowest. Right, that would be one of the lowest DC movie openings ever.
That would include like Birds of Prey with a pandemic on the horizon.
I think Birds of Prey was the only one that like would be lower than that. But to give some context, the first Shazam made $53 million in its opening weekend, and it saw a $140 million domestic take. So,
yeah. That feels right.
That's gonna
be a long. That's gonna be kind of a slog of like, God. It makes you want to avoid the internet for a week or two, right?
It does. I liked Black Adam enough, but it's been said over and over again that like the reason they haven't had Black Adam like they in Shazam was because Warner Brothers was like bogarting shit. They were like, no, you can't have him yet. Also, you can't have a bunch of other things yet, so you're gonna have to create some wholesale characters for your Fury of the Gods movie because Black Adam might be using this. Screw that shit. Hopefully, like honestly, I would love to see Shazam do well enough to garner a third movie and bring back Black Adam, bring back The Rock, and have a proper showdown in the final Shazam movie or the third Shazam movie or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for, because I don't think Black Adam did that damn bad. I mean, I guess it was technically a flop, but maybe not. I don't know.
I mean, it was technically abysmal is the word I used earlier, but...
I think I've previously said flop adjacent, but...
I mean, it didn't actually lose any money. I'm sure about that part, but it definitely didn't like... It didn't have like a groundswell of support for it. But that being said, I mean, the advertising for that and Shazam have been similar in the sense that it's been like guerrilla warfare.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot Shazam was airing this weekend until you reminded me last week.
Yep.
I just forgot when it actually was.
Yep. Well, Just go get your tickets, y'all. Come on now.
Yeah. I mean,
Look,
worst case scenario, you see a good movie.
and you better do it quick because they're already putting out TV spots that are spoiling a major cameo. And I won't say what the cameo is. But David Sandberg said there's some big Shazam spoilers out there now. If you want to go into it fresh, maybe don't be online or watch TV with ads. Pretty good advice in general, actually.
Yeah.
So I will say that, and
I mean, I'm also worried about, like, I know, God, when is, I think it's May that Flash is coming out?
Mm-hmm.
May or June?
I think so.
I think like a month and a half or so before that, there's going to be, viewing screenings and all that. They're very confident about the movie.
They're already doing that. They've already got viewings out there. People are already, I mean,
Kind of makes me nervous though every time I turn on the internet in general, because you have a switch. I turn on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Into my mind. And,
the Flash comes out June 16th.
Yeah, there you go.
And by the way, Fury of the Gods is getting great reviews. Like the initial reviews, like they lifted the embargo, and like the reviews are starting to pour in, and they're all very, very positive.
Cool.
So I think, vote with your dollar, dude. If you want to see more Shazam in the DCU, do it. Go see it. I'm gonna go see it.
Yeah, I'll be voting with dollars too. Just
be like me.
Yeah, it may take you and I a moment to, coordinate the actual recording, given the circumstances this weekend. But yeah, we'll be there. We'll have seen it.
Something will have happened. You'll hear from one of us at the very least.
Minimally.
Sandberg says that Shazam Fury of the Gods has not changed under the new DC Studios plans. He says the finished movie was delivered end of October last year, so right before James Gunn officially began the job. Sure, sometimes productions can add scenes or do changes very last minute, but nothing has changed on Shazam. It is a freestanding story, and they have told me it does not affect or interfere with future DC plans, so no reason to change anything. Go see the damn movie. Zachary Levi.
To finish your verse. If you want it to be, it will be.
Yeah. If you will it, it is no lie.
Yeah.
Zachary Levi was talking to comicbook.com's Brandon Davis, and he was talking about Gunn's vision for the DC Universe as an ongoing process rather than a hard reboot. He says it's kind of a rolling reset, if you will. There's a lot of things that were inherited that were already kind of well before Peter and James even got to the positions they're in right now. There were lots of conversations about what's going to move forward and what's not, and how do we? I'm way over here as a part of the we, but how do the powers that be figure out how to chop this up and try to make it work moving forward? And he says, listen, I've known Peter now for years because he's my producer on Shazam, and I've known James Gunn for even more years. We have mutual friends, and we've had game nights together in LA. I've been at a Christmas party of his and almost was Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, Gunn he's like, James stumped for me, fought for me when Peter asked him about me. Hey, what do you think of Zach? Because we're thinking about him for Shazam. James was like, yes, go get that guy. He could he could really go crush that. So I think Gunn likes Quinto, Zachary Levi, crossing over into Star Trek UCast now.
Yeah.
I think Gunn likes him, clearly. Gunn even said in reference to Fury of the Gods, I love it. It is a complete blast. The whole crew killed it. So I think Gunn is a fan.
I mean, he would have made a good Star-Lord.
Mm-hmm. He would have.
I like Pratt, but still.
Actually, Pratt would have made a good Shazam, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have preferred a hair dye on that one, but yeah, I think they, I think they could have swapped altogether, and we would be fine.
Uh-huh.
That's the takeaway. We'd be good. It's fine.
I'd be all right. Moving over to The Flash, there was a Comic Book Nation podcast show had Jeff Lanzing and Colin Kelly of Batman One Bad Day Clayface. Mm-hmm. And they were talking about James Gunn and DC Studios. And Lansing said, basically in certain terms, that The Flash is going to blow minds when it hits theaters. He says, I know too much about that movie. I can't talk about it. I know secrets none of you know. I got to be super chill when it comes to The Flash. All of this to say, I am psyched. And when pressed to at least answer how much The Flash will blow fans' minds with surprises and twists on a scale of 1 to 10, Lanzing said 10. 10. I think that if even half the stuff I've heard is true from people who should know, 10. Insane. Complete madness. But I also hear the movie is, like, incredible. That makes me excited. I hope he's just not like...
No, I'd prefer that to not be overhyped too. But at the same time, how many people just heard like turn up to 11? But I get it.
Yeah,
I'm hoping for the same.
I'm just hoping he's not like all the things that he's excited about aren't things that got cut because they're not moving forward with it.
Oh, that'll be fun. And check my memory. Is it? You remember the Fantastic Four film?
Which one?
I guess the last one.
I never saw it.
Well, you can't check my memory then. Do you remember the trailer where the thing is jumping out of the plane? I don't think that was actually in the movie.
No, I don't even think I saw the trailer.
Oh, you're completely up. Yeah.
If I did, I don't remember it. Like I retained nothing.
Mm.
I was like, cool, it's not MCU, and everyone's complaining about Josh Trank. It's going to be a shit show. I have no interest.
Yeah. It has one really good moment where like you see Mr. Impossible actually like fight using his like stretch skills and kind of own a scene. But that's all I got. Like it would be genuinely useful in a fight to be able to stretch about, I don't know, infinite feet in front of you if you wanted to.
Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, imagine it would be.
Yeah, there's that one scene. I'm going to watch that later just to see if it holds up in my memory.
Okay. Well, more power to you.
I'm still going to be deeply depressed. I'm probably going to actually like use that and pivot to watching the end of Whiplash again because that drum solo is amazing.
Just watch that one scene of Mr. Fantastic getting discombobulated in multiverse madness.
Yeah,
like it's better.
Strange too.
It'd be better. Over to Creature Commandos. Production has begun on Creature Commandos.
Cool.
They're almost done casting. And Gunn did clarify and said it's not that fast-tracked since Creature Commandos and Superman Legacy were both in development before Gunn and Safran took over. So there's that.
Gotcha.
And I feel like that's a kind of a big deal to note because so many people are saying that like James Gunn fired Zack Snyder. He didn't.
No.
And he pointed that out too. He was like, Zack Snyder had not worked for DC for years before I took over.
No, he would have had to have hired him. He wasn't on the roster. If he was on the roster, we would have had a film by now. Like, no, that ain't it. That ain't it, buddy.
Yep.
If anything, it would have been like, Gunn shunned Snyder. Like, no, not even that.
And I don't even think he has yet. I think Snyder is busy, and I think Gunn wants to build up his DC universe first before he starts doing anything else. And there's actually some news. We have some news about the Ayer cut. That sounds very promising. So I'm actually kind of excited because I think James Gunn, I still think he's our best shot at the Snyderverse being quote unquote restored as far as getting the ending that we want out of Zach. I just think things have to clear. Things have to be set aside for a minute and build up some goodwill with all of this other shit.
The Sarnoffs of the world have to get out of the way and have done so, thankfully.
Mm-hmm. Gunn says he is currently rereading John Byrne's Superman run.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly what that means. I've read John Byrne's Superman run. I'm assuming it's, a nice little, that's what he says on Twitter. And I'm assuming that's an update for how we can kind of think Superman Legacy might go between that and All-Star Superman. I don't know.
Not the worst.
I think James Gunn did say that his favorite Superman comic was Superman for All Seasons. So
I thought I saw him say that like around Christmas though, so I didn't know if it was just a Yuletide moment.
Yeah, which Superman for All Seasons is fantastic.
It is.
Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale. It's a great Superman comic.
It's glorious.
So.
You'll have a bit of a cry if you read it.
Mm-hmm. To me, between all that and Gunn saying that he's read every Alan Moore comic ever, I'm like, yeah, you got some good inspirations here for Superman Legacy. I'm digging it.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
He's read every Alan Moore, and Alan Moore hated everything.
Yeah.
Every moment of him reading it.
James Gunn says the rumors that he has sent out a casting call for Superman between 20 and 30 years old, he says they're not true. A casting director hasn't even been hired yet. And also, by the way, all he's ever said was that Superman is not in his 40s. He's younger than his 40s. That's all he said, as far as age is concerned with Superman.
Yeah. I mean, that's typically the truth anyway, though. Like, unless you age him up, he's always in, like, the Jesus Christ age.
Yeah, him and Batman both.
Yeah. That's the whole thing. Like, that's the ongoing joke we've all talked about.
Yep. Did you see that Tom King kind of outed James Gunn as being the director?
No, I don't think it did. What?
Tom King was on some podcast and he said something about James Gunn is writing and directing Superman Legacy.
Oh shit. I mean, he's probably right.
Yeah.
It's probably good tea.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. I would, Safran even said during that DC event that they hoped Gunn would direct.
He probably will. I mean, if it were you, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you like lead the ship? Because like I'm going down with it.
No, I don't have enough faith in my own abilities. If I could get someone else to come in and host this show, I would.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah,
that's fine. I have enough faith in your abilities. Like if we were both gonna die by this sword, I'm gonna grab you. I'm gonna grab the handle and give it to you.
If I could pay somebody to do this show, I would. Like I would probably just pay F. Yop Elders to just come in and talk with you about DC stuff.
Yeah,
just like yeah. I think the show will be better without me.
Not that I wouldn't be happy to talk to her, as I always am, but no, that ain't it. That's what we do. Sorry, you're bastard.
Stuck. I'm not stuck. I quit. No.
Try it. I know where you live.
What will you do? Just ambush me with a microphone?
Goddamn right. I have rope.
Like you've got like a little microphone on your phone. You're like, so Dave, what do you think about the DC stuff going on?
No, all my mics are portable, and I have rope. I don't know what you think is going to happen here.
You're just like, are you recording me right now? No. By law, you have to say yes if you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes, what? Nothing.
That, unfortunately, is not the legal definition of entrapment. But, by the way, how do you feel about James Gunn and his latest tweet? I mean, it would be easier than you think it would be.
Probably. By the way, can I just address something real quick that I meant to bring it up when we were talking about Shazam, and I just forgot.
I haven't thought about Bethany. I'd have to confine her too, and that seems unfair. She didn't ask for this.
Anyway,
it's a whole house. I'd have to hold a whole house hostage, and I've never thought about the logistics of it.
It's two people.
Yeah, but the acoustics in your house are very unforgiving. So like, you'd hear her in the background the entire time.
What is she, an old jalopy trying to start up?
She's got tape over her mouth.
Oh, I see. This is turning into a very bad Dennis Leary movie very quickly.
100%.
But yeah, I meant to bring this up during the Shazam portion. I keep seeing this rumor floating around that Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, is suing WB over Black Adam and Henry Cavill not coming back and all this stuff. No, he's not. He would not win. Warner Brothers has way more money than The Rock. Period. Warner Brothers has a ton of lawyers that will destroy The Rock. The contracts that The Rock signed, I can guarantee you, they side with the studio. It's called an option. They can exercise that option, or they can say, no, you didn't do good enough.
Yeah.
He's not the savior of the DCEU. He's not suing them and coming back and, dethroning James Gunn. Mm-hmm. Hopefully he will be back for a sequel or something at some point. That's his story. Stop believing these stupid rumors. Please, guys. Please.
Yeah. I'm going to add in, he possibly could have been the savior of the DCU if you had gone
to see the movie?
For it. Gone to see the movie! Yo!
Speaking of stupid-ass rumors, and maybe this is true. They've said over and over again it's not, but Ben Affleck, there's a rumor that he is directing The Brave and the Bold. If he is, awesome. If he changes his mind,
into that. If it happens,
if he decides,
take my Kickstarter money.
If he decides I want to direct the Batman movie,
yep,
I'm there for it. Dick out. No cheese grater necessary. We're here. We're enjoying this film. He's a fantastic director.
So a deep, terrible reference from years ago. Just ignore it if you don't know it.
Deep, terrible reference from years ago. On the off chance that one of the people who listened to us in 2015 are still listening.
Are still there. Hey, hi.
What's up, y'all?
Right in. Happy to talk to you.
So, yeah, that's the rumor. And because of this rumor, someone on Twitter, I won't even say their name, screw them, basically added James Gunn. Basically added James Gunn and said, didn't Gunn say in a previous interview that Affleck's not directing Brave and the Bold? I get that Gunn is something of a professional liar, but still. And Gunn responded to him and said, for years it's been my commitment to the fans that I will never lie to them, and I never have. I'd be very curious about what it is you think I've lied about. And he responds, not wanting to run DC and not wanting to make a Superman film for starters. And Gunn responded, neither of those were lies. I was offered Superman, but did Suicide Squad instead. A few years later, I saw how to tackle Superman, and I took it on. I didn't want to be the sole CEO of DC, but when they came and offered it to me and Peter, I said yes because I could focus on the creative side. Again, I've never once lied to the fans, and I never will. That doesn't mean I'm never going to change my mind about anything.
I mean, just, Jesus Christ, I love the transparency here.
Yeah, I
don't track a single falsehood in anything he just said. Like that all tracks with everything that happened with the stories. Like
it is, I get so aggravated because people will be like, "Oh, he lied." Like he changed his mind. People are allowed to change their minds. People have come at me and being like, "You hated Man of Steel." I never hated it. You hated Man of Steel, and now you act like it's the best movie. No, I don't act like it's the best movie. I act like Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Edition, is the best movie. You definitely don't act like
it's the best movie. And two, you borderline hated it for a second, but
I didn't borderline hate it. There were several things that bugged me about it, and
you were insert.
Some
GIF
of those
here,
things still bug me about it.
Insert GIF here, not impressed.
I don't know what I was. I was just in a strange place where I was in a strange place where I was like trying to figure out why I didn't like it more.
I'm not saying I influenced you in any capacity, but I think after we talked about it for a long time, I genuinely think you liked it more after our discussion.
Yeah, I've liked it more every time I've watched it.
I think you should.
Between
it's
you,
a really good movie.
Between you and between listening to Zack Snyder and what his intentions were and what he was doing, I changed my mind. I am a person
capable of doing such.
Changed. So I'm not just like, a WB shill all of a sudden after all these years. And now I'm like, oh, now I think, Snyder is the best just because I wanted Zack Snyder's Justice League to I'm not a WB shill. I can't stand WB. I think the best thing they've done in years is to, start this up with James Gunn and Peter Safran.
Yeah.
And before that, I thought the best thing they'd done in years was
from all the supposed W. Bill shows.
I know. I think it was a stupid idea for Walter Hamada to say no to Cavill. I thought it was stupid to, shut down the Snyderverse. I want, present tense, want more Snyderverse.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to see his vision realized. I also want all the things.
Yeah.
Mostly. Every once in a while I come across a thing that they announce and I'm like, I don't want that. I'll see it, but I don't give a shit. Like Gotham Knights on CW. Couldn't give a shit. Comes out in 2 days. I still can't muster the energy to watch it. I don't know what's going to happen.
I would be more compelled if CW would fix their ad situation on the app, but I haven't watched CW in a couple years now. Has that changed? Do you know?
No, it's still awful.
It's still terrible? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I still don't smoke and or vape.
Get ready to watch that McCormick cinnamon dancing on your tongue commercial 25 times.
Yeah.
Anyway, someone messaged Gunn on Twitter and said, Diana is a character with such a rich rich cast with so much untapped potential and stories. It's beyond past time for it to be explored. # Wonder Woman animated series. And James Gunn said, I agree. Or agreed, working on it. So I don't know if that's an indication that he's working on Wonder Woman period, or if it's got Wonder Woman animated series specifically. But
I actually saw that tweet. I think he followed up saying that he thought it was animated, or it was a really good addition to the animation.
Okay, I did not see that.
Could be wrong.
You might be. He commented on the rumor that Henry Cavill is going to be their Frankenstein for Creature Commandos, and he says completely false. We have our Frankenstein, our first choice, and it is not Henry. We never discussed it with him. And someone is so funny because
I have a pitch for Frankenstein. Go ahead.
The person who commented, it says, this tweet is from an account you muted. No kidding. Says, I know you're just replying to false info, but just comes off as hate towards Henry Cavill. That post had no traction anyways.
Oh, God. All right.
And Gunn says, it's
influencer.
Gunn says it's on various news sites, and I was asked about it. You might consider that this bile you think comes off in my post has more to do with your framing than what I'm actually saying. I've said it in the past. We've discussed other roles with Henry. Just Frankenstein is not one of them.
I don't know why
people are just getting butt hurt for no reason, dude.
I don't know why I would be.
I don't either.
He doesn't have exactly the kind of face that I think about, and he's not tall enough for the frame that I think about. But like Alan Rickson.
Alan Rickson?
Yeah,
Who's that?
Hawk.
Oh,
Reacher.
Richardson.
Is it Richardson? How do you say his name?
Because Alan Rickman is a dead English actor who was amazing.
That was a very different guy.
Alan Richson. Richson.
Well, replace that with whatever I just said. But yeah, that guy.
Just
could play a fine Frankenstein.
Just say Jack Reacher, man. It's all right.
Everyone apparently knows the guy now. I don't know why or how.
Because he's been killing it for years.
He has been killing it for years. I just don't. I've always encountered him in like little niche places where like I don't think everyone knows Brendan Thwaites. Like I just don't assume that in my daily life. But every time I bring up Alan, whatever his name is, apparently, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, the tall hot guy." I don't know where they learned about him.
In more ways than one, he just got too big to fit into little niche areas.
Well, he did, but then there's still Reacher, which is a little niche area in the hell. It's set in a little niche town. It was a good show. I enjoyed the first season. I watched that recently.
Good.
It's fantastic.
Good. James Gunn,
actor from iZombie that I loved.
Mm-hmm. I love how like we literally have been doing this since like March or May, something like that. I think May of 2015, and even on that, I think the first episode you were talking about iZombie.
I'm going to make you watch this show.
It's been.
I will Clockwork Orange your ass.
You will not.
Like, we talked about it in the last 20 minutes of this show, how I could sneak into your house.
But you won't. Because of fear.
So help me, I'm sneaky.
James Gunn tweeted out a picture of Steve Agee and said, "Happy birthday to my great friend and collaborator and peak economist who you will see sooner than you think." So there's that. That was interesting.
Surprise. I'd like to see him as soon as possible.
Absolutely. He's a lot of fun. Here was a weird thing. Here was a weird thing that happened. Someone tweeted, "I met Matthew Lillard today." And I asked him...
That's a great start to any sentence.
And I asked him what character he wants to play but hasn't gotten to, and he said, anybody in a James Gunn movie. James Gunn replied, sorry, let me see. Let me make sure this is who's saying what. Wait.
Yeah, double check the references on that one.
Cody Ellis. Yeah, Cody Ellis says, "I was going to say Plastic Man, but keep cooking, please." And James Gunn said, "Matt and I sat in a trailer with the head of Warner Brothers, Lorenzo Di Bonaventura, on the set of Scooby-Doo in 2000 and told him we wanted to do Plastic Man." That was the year 2000. So Matt aged 23 years.
He is a bit past his prime as far as that goes. We all are. I was available in 2000, and guess what? I look older. But dear God, that would have tracked for me. I'm not sure it wouldn't track for me now.
Yeah, I might be open to it.
I mean, you hear all the Plastic Men, like, the pitches are basically the same thing over and over again, right? Like, Ryan Reynolds, Jim Carrey, or some shit. Like,
yeah,
Lillard's kind of all right. Well, it's kind of that could really work for me.
I mean, I don't have a casting idea in my head for Plastic Man. In the 90s, it was probably Jim Carrey, and then it's just not there anymore. He's gotten too old.
Yeah.
And also, he'd probably make the movie and then come out and start saying that he doesn't support violence.
Just the one
time. Don't go see the movie. It's too violent. What are you talking about? You shot the movie. Why did you not know that this was a thing in the movie? I'm saying I like Jim Carrey, but he's a little off, and you don't never know what he's gonna do.
It's a hard thing to get your head around because there are parts of what he says where I'm like, yeah, no, that makes sense to me, and then it's exactly like you phrased it. Actually, like he'll just shoot off in a direction, and we're like, well, can't follow that. Holy shit!
Yeah,
it's hard to get your head around.
So on Friday, Gunn went onto his Instagram stories, and he responded to a fan poll about which characters they most wanted to see in the new DCU. The top 10 results were Nightwing, Manhunter, Martian Manhunter, that is, Lobo, Brainiac, Deathstroke, Red Hood, Zatanna, the Court of Owls, Mr. Freeze, and John Constantine. Gunn says, "Will 5 of 10 do?"
Oh, I have my lowest on that list. What's yours?
What's my lowest?
Yeah.
Probably, honestly, the Court of Owls.
Me too.
I'm kind of sick of them.
I have nothing against them. And when Scott Snyder did it, it was an amazing piece of writing. Don't get me wrong, I was absolutely gripped by what happened there.
I think we'll see him in Matt Reeves' Batman stuff, though.
Probably there more than anything. And it deserves to be there. It actually really makes a lot of sense there.
Yeah, it does.
But
it does.
I mean, out of the 5, you'd have to let me hear them again as far as the 5 go.
Well, there's Dick Grayson, Martian Manhunter, Lobo, Brainiac, Deathstroke, Jason Todd, Zatanna, the Court of Owls, Mr. Freeze, John Constantine.
All right, so Nightwing is a hard yes for me.
Yeah, Dick Grayson, Jason Todd are big hard yeses for me. Lobo's a big hard yes for me.
Yeah, me too.
I'm pretty sure James Gunn is writing a Brainiac story for Legacy, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be one of them on his.
That's the one I could lose if you had a good enough protagonist, but I like that villain a lot.
Yeah, I don't care about Mr. Freeze, really.
I could drop that one.
Everyone's been like, oh, the Batman 2, Mr. Freeze. I don't know why.
No, but again, back to the Matt Reeves universe. That that could go there.
Yeah. I don't want it to. I don't care. I just don't care. Like, if they did it really good, if they did Heart of Ice again, some version of that, maybe, but
anyone with half a fucking brain cell will use that storyline.
Then again, Heart of Ice exists. Like, Paul Dini did it perfectly in Batman the Animated Series, and then turned around and then like wrote a comic book version of it that was set in, like, they basically retconned the story for the then current mainstream DC Comics and did it better in a lot of ways. I'm happy with those two. And I've even liked some of what, Scott Snyder did with Mr. Freeze, but I don't need to see it. Like, that's not my big thing.
Those were good too. I mean, there's so much at the heart, like there's so much meat at that little crux. Him and Nora there's so much there. Like, you can make sense of it. Like, if they just did that and did it well and showed you that story, I mean, Gotham hinted at it, but like, if they really showed you that story, I think you'd be on board.
Maybe. I mean, I'm into it. It's just not like the number one thing. I'm like, yeah.
It wouldn't be my number one either. I mean, wait. So who else do we have here? I mean, Nightwing. I think that for me and you, that's a solid yes, right?
Yeah, solid yes for Nightwing. Solid yes for Jason Todd. I love the whole Bat family. I want them included.
Me too.
Lobo, definite yes for me.
It's just it's so, he can go so crazy, right? Like, there's so much to go. There's so much to play with there.
If I had to, like, man, I could see James Gunn playing with any of these people. Like, how are you not going to do Zatanna? If you're literally doing gods and monsters, you're doing magic.
Well, that makes me think, like, well, yeah. I mean, that's a good point. Like, I want Zatanna as much as I want Constantine, and vice versa. That being said, I mean, Constantine's still on the table. I want Constantine more. So
maybe,
if anything, it's Lobo. That's like, that one's hard to do because, yeah, he has a fun kind of like bounty hunter, slightly anti-hero kind of vigilante arc to him, but it's also the guy who killed his entire planet for fun. It's kind of a hard sell as far as that goes. Like, well, science experiment. What, gone wrong? Nope. You meant to do this? Yeah, I meant to do it. Yeah, sorry. Were you sad about it? No. Okay.
So, yeah. Previously, James Gunn had said about half of the Chapter 1 slate had been announced, but recently someone asked, and he said less than half. Here's a big David Ayer news I was excited about.
Oh, hit me.
On Twitter, a fan basically said they didn't think the Ayer cut would ever be released under Gunn's leadership. And Ayer said, and he said it, they were writing in Spanish, but when you translate it to English, Ayer said, "I spoke to him a while ago, all with patience. He has the right to put together his new universe before visiting the past. Cheer up. Good things are coming." That sounds like it's happening.
I mean, could just sound like he's nodding to the past, but I would like to think that's where that's going. Yeah.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves says he doesn't know if it's happening now. Constantine 2. He says, "I was hoping it would, but we don't know. We're trying." So feeling more uncertain at this point.
I'm curious.
He has talked to Gunn though. He has.
Yeah, I saw he talked to him. His AMA was hilarious and might have started a new religion for all I know, because he is capable apparently. But yeah, like I'm curious. Like, after John Wick, after Chapter 4, if that thing's gangbusters, like, yeah, do you just throw a movie at him because you got him? Because I might.
I would Elseworlds the shit out of it.
You sold how many seats? Oh, shit. Can you cut your hair for this one? No. Okay, that's not a deal breaker. Shave? No, sorry. Again, not a deal breaker.
But then again, because I'm me, I would want to, like, can we do a Constantine sequel where Matt Ryan shows up and you guys have sex?
Oh, yeah. The Constantines have to bone.
I mean, they'd have to.
They'd have to. 100% my approval on this. It feels like Keanu would leave with one less nipple.
Is this multiversal incest? No, more like multiversal masturbation. Ah.
Could see him sitting there like straight face looking at it like who else would know? Who else would know what I need? Well, Matt Ryan apparently prepares a full English breakfast in the background.
And then we'll do whatever else. Whoever, like, let's bring in a third Constantine. I don't care. I just want to see Constantine's hanging out doing magic and shit. You know, like.
Yeah, that'll do it for me.
That's the end of my movie news, and we got a little bit of TV news. You want to hit a break real quick?
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. You guys, we'll be right back. We've got some more cool news coming for you.
Introducing Carvana Value Tracker, where you can track your car's value over time and learn what's driving it. It might make you excited.
Whoa, didn't know my car was valued this high.
It might make you nervous.
Uh-oh, market's flooded. My car's value just dipped 2.3%.
It might make you optimistic.
Our low mileage is paying off. Our value's up.
And it might make you realistic.
Car prices haven't gone up in a couple weeks. Maybe it's time to sell.
But it will definitely make you an expert on your car's value. Carvana Value Tracker. Visit Carvana.com to start tracking your car's value today.
And we're back. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Are you happy that we're back?
Of course.
Are your nipples hard?
Yeah.
Are they cutting glass?
It's kind of warm.
I hear you. It's cold in my house. So I'm trying to keep all glass objects away from my chest. The Penguin. We got the Penguin. It has begun filming officially.
Yeah, so.
I'm excited about that. I want to see where the story goes. There are all these rumors that Robert Pattinson is going to show up in the Penguin, and I don't know why he wouldn't. It'd be kind of weird if he didn't have like a big Batman running around doing something. I'm really excited about this too.
It would
like
seem to be
HBO,
a waste if there wasn't some inclusion of like what 4 major characters, one of which was released in like a deleted scene.
Yeah. But yeah, Clancy Brown has been cast on the Penguin as Salvatore Maroni.
Yeah,
I love Clancy Brown.
I'm gonna put this in a sentence that I think he would understand. Ain't a damn thing wrong with that.
He was the best part of what was that show? Sleepy Hollow. You remember that?
Oh yeah,
where he was like the main lady's sheriff who got killed by the horse.
Beheaded.
Yeah, and he started showing up as like a ghost and talking to her and shit. I loved Clancy Brown. He was Lex Luthor on Superman the Animated Series, for anyone who doesn't remember. He was also General Eiling on CW's The Flash, and he's been in a ton of shit over the years. And I just always enjoy him.
I mean this as a friendly challenge. Name me one thing that Clancy Brown ever did that wasn't good. I don't mean the whole product. I mean his part.
Yeah, his part. You can't find it.
Man always kills. Always kills.
He is often a bad guy.
He is also often a bad guy. But, I mean, dude, he killed.
Do you remember how HBO Max canceled Batman Caped Crusader animated series? That shit is coming back. Amazon picked it up. 2-season order. We're talking produced by Bruce Timm, Matt Reeves, J.J. Abrams. Head writer is Ed Brubaker. I am stoked.
Yeah.
I am super excited for that shit.
That is good. On Amazon, it has a real chance. I mean, they've definitely like killed some properties here and there, but it's 50-50.
Yeah.
I mean, dear God, I'll never forgive them for the Tick.
Yeah, I know.
Same time, we've got like an expansion of The Boys coming up. So,
yeah.
Life gives and it takes.
It does. DC's Dead Boy Detectives is moving from HBO Max to Netflix. According to the report, the move
for
was
one
made,
season.
Yeah. According to the report, the move was made for multiple reasons. For starters, the show did not fit into the crop of new interconnected HBO Max original series that will be part of James Gunn and Peter Safran's DC Studios plans. And HBO Max would also apparently not be able to market the show until 2024. So this is all cost measures and and whatnot. And it makes sense for Dead Boy Detectives, which was a spinoff of Sandman, to be on Netflix anyway at some point. So maybe we'll get a little crossover there or something with Sandman. I don't know, but
I can deal with that.
I'm just happy we're still going to get to see it, honestly. Everything's kind of unstable with HBO Max. Hell, it might not even be called HBO Max. I think they're just changing it to Max next month.
Yeah, cracked me up too, because I saw like the headline was like, it may be HBO turning off viewers. I was like, I don't know, man. HBO's been around my entire life. I think literally, like home box office. I don't know if that's the problem.
I will say,
but I would like to see the data on that, like the focus groups.
I've been curious because as much as the argument is like, no, HBO denotes quality, like there's also like a lot of people who associate HBO with being expensive. Like as a premium cable channel? Right, because they're still stuck in the idea of, it's a premium cable service. So you have to pay extra for that.
Yeah, but dude, those were our parents.
I know.
And we're in our late 30s.
I know, but it also trickles down to younger people, because I've talked to younger people who are like, oh no, HBO stuff is too expensive. I've also talked to people who, again...
How is this not 18 to 49, just not having a different opinion?
I don't know. And I don't know what the reasons are that they're saying that, but... That's
it. Fuck it. I'm going back into sociology and psychology.
But I've also seen people, and, take it as a grain of salt. We live in the South. I have talked to people who go, oh man, you got to check out HBO Max, blah, blah, blah. This is on there. And they're like, oh, that's porn. They associate HBO with like nudity.
That was Skinamax.
Maybe it was Skinamax, but also there's a lot of nudity in Game of Thrones.
For sure. That Game of Thrones was unnecessary deaths, not unnecessary, cloying deaths and random boobs. That was the entire, that was how that show subsisted, as far as I know.
I'm just saying, people have certain associations, at least down here, with the moniker HBO.
Also, what is the problem with random boobs? Aren't they just nice to see sometimes? Fuck it.
Maybe HBO stands for habitual boob oustings.
Here's boobs okay. Question mark.
Hi, boobs on. Yeah, I mean, I don't care one way or the other whether I see boobs. I just want to see a good story. I really don't give a shit.
Oh, that was the whole point. Like, that was why some people are gonna hate me. I know Game of Thrones had a good story. I just never got in past the first few episodes, and then that's been my joke, my like through line for a lot of it. It was like, oh yeah, boobs and violence. That's great. Mm-hmm. And I know that's a lot of what HBO has to offer, but it also has to like Barry, Silicon Valley. Like, these are things that I've like watched in the last month.
Yeah.
One of those I know finished years ago. I was catching up.
Like, I legitimately didn't like look into like why they said HBO is stopping people from subscribing. I really don't know. I mean, what I said is just conjecture on my part. I didn't read the article. I just went, okay.
Yeah.
I could see it from my own perspective, my own anecdotal evidence. I'm sure they have tons of research that indicates why people aren't subscribing more. So when I see people on the internet who are just like shitting on this idea, and I'm like, and what research have you done? Oh, you just don't like Warner Brothers. Okay, cool.
Yeah, a lot of the backlash right now is going to be
just angry.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of shitty on the.
I'm just mad about things, Batgirl, and David Zaslav, and
yeah, that's going to be the first wave of things. There's always a reason. As much as I'd like to give them shit for it, there is probably some reason. It is probably a focus group situation.
Mm-hmm.
Or probably. God help them if it's actually just the shareholders. But we'll see.
I mean, yeah.
That's
yeah. I don't know.
That's deeply in the developing. we'll keep an eye on it. That's going to be kind of funny kind of thing. I actually didn't mind HBO Go as an app name. That wasn't bad.
Well, I mean, that was a different thing, though, wasn't it?
No, it was just when it was proper HBO, like True Blood and shit.
Oh, okay.
Marketing wise, it I don't know, hit okay.
Yeah. You know what? I don't care what the service is named.
I mean, ultimately, you just need access to the product, right?
Yeah. You call it Twitter tits. I don't care.
Yeah. Flippity flu.
Well,
Cool.
Looks
I'll
like,
subscribe to
we're
flippity flu and Twitter tits or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, good. Let's tune in to Terry Flaps for the new episode of Titans. Whatever. I don't give a shit.
Who picked up New Patrol? Simney Flops? Cool. I'm all over it.
The Flash on CW has set a series finale date. According to TV Line, it is going to air Wednesday, May 24th. Final episode. End of the Arrowverse.
Is that actually it?
I guess so. I mean, unless they decide to...
No,
I don't
actually,
know.
I hadn't thought about it. But yeah, you're right. That's it.
Unless they decide to shock everyone and order Justice U or whatever the hell it was with Diggle running that school that they talked about.
Yeah. No, you're right though. That would do it.
Yeah, I mean, Superman Lois isn't proper Arrowverse anymore. It's adjacent.
Yeah, it is.
So,
And that's about all that's going on, short of Gotham Knights. But yeah, you're right. I'd have to
Yeah.
actually catch up. I don't think I can do that in 2 months.
nah, probably not.
I'm like 3 years behind.
And in 2 days, Gotham Knights premieres. They have a premiere synopsis. Batman is dead and a powder keg has ignited Gotham City without the Dark Knight to protect it. In the wake of Bruce Wayne's murder, his adopted son, Turner, is framed for killing the Caped Crusader along with the children of some of Batman's enemies. Duella Doe, a.k.a. the Joker's daughter, an unpredictable fighter and skilled thief who was born in Arkham Asylum and abandoned by her father. Harper Row, a streetwise and acerbic engineer who can fix anything, and her brother Cullen Rowe, a clever transgendered teen who is tired of being polite and agreeable. With the charismatic and hard-charging District Attorney Harvey Dent and the GCPD hot on their trail, Turner will rely on allies, including his best friend and formidable coder, Stephanie Brown, and unlikely Batman sidekick Carrie Kelly. But our knights will soon learn there is a larger, more nefarious force at work within Gotham City. That this team of mismatched fugitives must band together to become its next generation of saviors, known as the Gotham Knights. My God, I am so disinterested. CW, like all they ever want to do is kill Batman, have Batman leave.
No, I mean that's fine. I don't mind that part of it. I really don't. I've seen a couple clips, and man, I haven't been able to carry it.
Yeah, it does not look very good to me.
Like when I say I haven't watched the CW for a few years, I mean that like I really loved the CW for several years, and just haven't gotten around to finishing some what's come and gone. And then there's this other category where like I don't have it in me. I don't think I care.
Mm-hmm.
That is different. I mean, the other things like Flash finishing is I do deeply care about that on a fundamental level. Like I really want to finish that show. I will finish that show.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the new stuff, not so much.
Yeah, I understand. The Superman 4K collection, man, they are celebrating the 85th anniversary of Superman. As far as, God, my brain. They're celebrating the 85th anniversary of Superman. Warner Brothers is going to do a Christopher Reeve Superman film to 4K release. It's going to be all the Richard Donner stuff. Like, it's going to be it's going to be Superman the movie. It's going to be Superman 2, both cuts, theatrical and the Richard Donner cut. Superman 3 and 4. And they're also going to have a bunch of special features. They're going to have Superman 78, #1 in there, the comic book. They have a photo book, a 3D lenticular card of Zod trapped in the Phantom Zone from Superman 2. If you find this if you can find it, it's like $130.
Jeez.
It's not available on Amazon anymore. It's there. There's a link, but like they don't know when or if it will be back in stock. What I'm actually more excited about, though, is they are finally releasing Blu-rays of Max Fleischer's Superman, the 1941 to 43 serial.
Oh, my childhood.
Mm-hmm. It'll be available to purchase digitally on HD and on Blu-ray May 16th, 2023. They have been in constant release. They fell into the public domain. Anybody can just, make copies and sell them at dollar stores and shit. But Warner Brothers Discovery says that their advanced remastering process began with a 4K 16-bit scan of Fleischer's original 35mm successive exposure negative, staying true to the original theatrical aspect ratio. The highest quality raw image was then scanned and then entered into the recombined process, utilizing special proprietary software to merge the successive exposure Technicolor negatives into a single RGB color image. The end result are pristine animated shorts that have been restored to the animator's originally intended production quality. Why does it sound like Dan Aykroyd wrote that?
It sounds like Magistry to me.
So that's definitely going on my wish list. I love those old Fleischer cartoons, We got a little bit of feedback. We have one of our new patrons, Cindy Brewer, says, "Hi, thanks for reading my email on the air, quote unquote air. Made my day after a long, cold, snowy commute here in Wisconsin. Great episode as always." Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
And I do want to thank all the listeners out there, but especially a big thank you to the patrons. We do have new patrons, Cindy Brewer, who just wrote in, and Mark Austin Fleming, both coming in on the $5 tier. Thank you so much. If you'd like to help support the show, there is no better way than becoming a patron. $1 gets you every episode ad-free, and $5 gets you that, plus whatever else we have time to put out. If you would like to contact us and be a part of the show, you can do so through Patreon at patreon.com/DCOnScreen, DC on Screen on Twitter and Instagram, or email us at dconscreen@gmail.com. I think that's everything I've got, man. What do you think?
I got you, buddy.
Cool, man. Well, we, if not we, me, will be back with a Shazam episode very, very soon, as soon as the movie comes out. Until next time, keep some DC on your screen.
Our intro music is by Jason Goss and Michael Shackelford. Michael's band, Galactic Engineers of Magnetic Sounds, or GEMS, can be found on SoundCloud and Bandcamp. Visit DCOnScreen.com to find our Patreon, merch, contact information, and every episode of the show for free, including crossovers we've done with other podcasts. DC On Screen is a maladjusted production. For more from me and Jason, including sketch comedy, vlogs, parodies, and our improvised web series Hey Guy, visit maladjusted.tv.